Good morning, everybody. My name is Alexander Lucio, back at you with High Winds EDC content. I got a piece of gear that I wanted to talk about that I don't see a lot of in the community. So I'm going to talk about it and hopefully bring some insight to the community. But before I do that, let's get a pocket check for this morning. Front left pocket, got my keys. Glow Rhino key fob, that's not going anywhere. Nothing else in that pocket. Nothing in my front right pocket. That's because normally I would carry these. I just went for a walk, but they're my Galaxy Buds Plus headphones, that second generation. Yeah. These things are awesome. I use them every day for work. They're great for going on a walk, and the microphone quality is pretty good. I just made some phone calls this morning and was able to hear everything. Some of the guys were on their equipment and stuff, and they can pick everything up that I'm saying, and I can hear everything that they're saying. So great product. Back right, got a OD green bandana, kind of going with the outfit. You know, you guys know we like to mix and match. As far as my wallet, Valley Leatherworks wallet. Okay, cool. And as far as the knife, I only have one on me today. Fisher Space Pen, Tell of Knives, standard sheath in the OD green. Obviously, I'm feeling the earth tones today. And the knife, Benchmade bug out with the Flightanium brass scales and my own little leather lanyard. I don't put the pocket clip on it whenever it's in the sheath. When it's in the sheath. Anyways, cool. So there's the pocket dump. Now I want to talk about a piece of gear that I don't see anybody talking about. Don't see it in anybody's pictures or anything like that. What is it? So it's a leather sheath and a set of your standard, I think these are 7-inch pliers. Don't know. Let's talk about this for a little bit. I worked in a fabrication shop for a little less than a year, and there were a couple of guys, they always had this on them, and they were welders. Now, I'm not a welder. I worked in the fab shop. I don't have any credentials in welding other than that short amount of time that I worked there. I can tack some stuff up. That's it. But these guys, they always had these on them, and the reason why, one of the guys carried them. He was the more full-time welder. That little pinch knot right there, he would always clip his little copper wire on the end of his gun. He'd clip it off so that way it would get to the size he needed. Sometimes he'd use the proper tool, that proper welding tool that you guys see. But no, they always had this, and the reason why they use these too is so that they can pick up those hot burning cherries, or they could pick up something that was really greasy or got fresh paint or something. They'd use it for bolts. It's got the two-way system for a little bit wider, so I mean we would always have the bolt in nuts and bolts, and so one side would have this side and they'd have their impact gun, and they just carried it with them, and it is so effortless. It would go on their loop and they just walk around with it all day, and great piece of equipment. Now I went and got one because I was like, man, that's actually pretty cool, pretty useful. And this is my second variation of this, and the reason why is because it would have lasted forever, but I sandblasted mine. Every time it got dirty or there was grease or something, you can even tell there's some old grease stains on this one that I carry. I still carry this regularly, by the way, but I would take it into the sandblaster, put the little gloves on, blast it away, and it was great. But it wore off the coating, the polish finish on these, and they started to rust really bad, especially right here and right here. So I won't be making that mistake again. Now I just leave them alone. These will last me forever. The leather sheath I got at a tractor supply company. It was either them or another tractor company. But yeah, it was awesome. I carried this for a very, very long time. I carried this every day when I'd go to work. I eventually moved that job and I went back to my old job, working on irrigation, a lot of landscaping for the university. And this came in handy whenever I was working on irrigation. I'd go up to it, pick up the heads, hold it there, twist my nozzle on, and then give it a good twist. Sometimes I would just use it to hold the nozzle and do my work. This thing is awesome. The back end was my pry bar. All right, I use this thing all the time as a pry tool. I would get in there, I'd like, you know, whatever it was, manhole covers. That was the biggest thing. If I had to go into a valve box of some sort, I'd have this with me, get that end, pry it up a little bit. It was great. One of the greatest things that I learned about it though, was if we were getting an especially heavy manhole lid and they could just barely get it up, I'd throw my pliers in there. Just put them in there so that way you could get more leverage with the bigger pry tool that you were using, like a pickaxe. Sometimes we would use them. But yeah, this was just like a little spacer that you could get something in there with. And this thing is awesome. Carry it with me all the time. I would have this and a pocket knife. It was the old Benchmade, the Hunt series that comes in the orange G10, but it's also got that little plastic rubber on it. I love that thing. I gave that knife away to one of my really good friends, but it would be that, it would be that knife, this bandana, and this. This was my EDC. Of course, you know, I'd have my wallet, my headphones, and all that other stuff, but that was before I knew what EDC was. This was years ago. I was about 20 years old, 21 is about whenever I started. 22 maybe at that job. 25 now, so three years ago, not a long time. But this comes in handy so much. In the cool, you know, easy to work with gloves. It's a set of pliers, and once you get used to it, it was awesome, man. I could use it for anything. I'd use it to pick up trash sometimes, because you know, you get, as a groundskeeper for tech, sometimes we got to pick up trash. That was one of our morning things. There was a piece of fabric that I had no idea what it was. I just pull this out, grab that, drop it in the trash can, drop it in our bucket, whatever, dude. This thing is awesome. The best part about it is the price, okay? I think the sheath was the most expensive thing. I went to the tool store. We call ours Texas Tool here in Lubbock. I just went there, picked it up, maybe $4 or $5. It's the CT company brand, so it's the name brand plier, and just so sturdy. No give. I try not to cut too much with this anymore, because I've noticed whenever I'm cutting a lot of copper wire and stuff like that, whenever we do a little bit of wiring, it kind of would like flex it a little bit and kind of wear this out a little bit, and sometimes it'd wear out in here. So I try not to do that anymore, but shoot, man, this thing is awesome. The sheath cost me like $7, so you got $5 plus this is $12. I bought a set for my brother. He had started a little job as a porter for one of the apartment complexes here in town. I was like, dude, he's like, he called me up. He said, brother, I need some tools. I said, all right, man, let's go to Texas Tool. So we went, and I just got him this. He said he needed a couple of screwdrivers. I got him a screwdriver that had everything, the adaptable bits. Got him some extra Weehaw bits while I was there, I think. Just some good EDC stuff that, hey, you're gonna run into these problems. You got guys there that they're gonna help you with your tools and stuff like that. You can borrow theirs, but this is a good foundation. And I got him this. I was like, you need this. You can use it as a pry bar. This exact same thing that I'm saying. So it was a really good deal. I think for a lot of my friends out there who are like budget oriented, this is a great budget option. It works great in the winter, works great in the summer. You don't feel it. Once you get it, and once you start getting used to it, these two, they're just amazing. And it's form-fitted and everything. It's pre-made like that. So I recommend this. Now, there might be, I don't know if there's a legal thing or anything like that, but because I never see it, so I was like, hopefully this doesn't get, hopefully in your state or whatever, your local carry laws or whatever, you can wear something like this. But yeah, if you can carry a Leatherman, I don't see why you can't carry something like this. Especially, look, this is all you need. If you go into work, a lot of times, a lot of your problems can be solved with these two things. And if you can't, get a little bit creative, or go get the right tool. That's one. I very much like the whole use your shit mentality of the EDC community, because I've bought a couple of really expensive knives that I just need to use. I need to not babysit them. But This is a great thing to beat up. You can throw it around. It's not gonna break anything. You're not gonna care. A $4, $5, $3 tool, you know, it's just great. Obviously, you guys know what a set of pliers is, but if you add it with the sheath, it's a game changer because you can pick anything up. There have been times where it's like, hey man, go get the socket set. We need to get this nut and bolt loose. I'll just grab this. Every now and then I'll get lucky and I'll have enough torque power, I'll have enough chingazo, and I'll get it. If it's a bigger size bolt, and I'll get it loose, or it'll help with something else. So really praising these tools, the carry sheath and the pair of pliers. Hopefully I can convince some of you guys who are more budget oriented that, hey, you don't need to go buy the $100 Leatherman or the $50 Gerber. Get something like this and see how much you actually use the multi-tool, the plier function of it, because you could probably just get a Swiss Army knife and you can get a pair of pair of scissors. You can get that screwdriver, what do you call it, the Phillips, the flathead small knife. But this is a really good plier, okay, a plier tool. So hopefully I can help you guys out. If you guys are thinking about what kind of budget tool that you need, obviously this isn't going to cut leather, this isn't going to cut strands off of your sweater or on your little boots or something like that, or anything like that. It's just a plier. It is just a grab tool. So I'm rambling right now, but yeah, that's this.